Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. What is the significance of the Virat Purusha's arms? The Lord's arms are the protective fields for the great demigods and other leaders of the living entities who protect the general mass. 2. Where are the centers for inauspicious and religious activities on the Virat Purusha? 9 and 10. The evacuating outlet of the universal form of the Lord is the abode of the controlling death of a deity of death, Mitra. And the evacuating hole and the rectum of the Lord is a place of envy, misfortune, death, hell, etc. The back of the Lord is the place for all kinds of frustration and ignorance as well as for immorality. 3. Give a brief comparison of the 1/4 and 3/4 energies of the Lord. 19 and 20 must be from the purport. 2. Just in comparison. This is going to be long. Okay, I think we'll keep it simple. We'll just base it on this translation itself. The material opulences constitute the 1/4 of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's energy in which all conditioned living entities exist. Deathlessness, fearlessness, and freedom from the anxieties of old age and disease exist in the kingdom of God, which is the 3/4 of the Lord's energy. 4. To perform a sacrifice successfully, at least 4 expert priests are needed. What are their roles? 25. Look at the text. Okay, just give me 1 minute. 1 minute. Let me switch over to Geo. This is 9. Okay. Okay. Perform a sacrifice successfully. At least 4 expert priests are needed. One who can offer Hota, one who can chant Udgata, one who can kindle the sacrificial fire without the aid of separate fire, Adhvaryu, and one who can supervise, Brahma. 5. What is the import of without Kantyavata? 34 and 35. In the purport. 34, 35. Or where does it come? Without Kantyavata comes here. My great eagerness in my heart. I have caught hold of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Why does it bring in 35?
In the purport 35, Prabhupada is writing about
What does he say?
Is there in the first paragraph only?
first paragraph, 35.
Does he say? Brahmaji could understand the Lord to a little extent only when he was trying to serve him by the eagerness of his heart, without Kantyavata, which is the devotional service mood. Therefore, the Lord can be known only by the sincere mood of eagerness for service, and not by any amount of material qualification as scientist or speculative philosopher, or by attainment of mystic powers. O Narada, because I have caught hold of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari with great zeal, that is this without Kantyavata. Whatever I say has never proved to have been false, nor is the progress of my mind ever deterred, nor are my senses ever degraded by temporary attachment to matter. Okay, 6. List some of the qualities of the personality of Godhead and his Purusha incarnation. Purusha incarnations. Purusha, this H dot should be deleted. 39 to 45. Let's see what is there. Some of the qualities. Comes here, 40 to 41, actually. The personality of Godhead is pure, being free from all contaminations of material tinges. He is the absolute truth and the embodiment of full and perfect knowledge. He is all-pervading, without beginning or end, and without rival. O Narada, O great sage. The great thinkers can know him when completely freed from all material hankerings and when sheltered under undisturbed conditions of the senses, otherwise by untenable arguments. Untenable arguments means the arguments which cannot be sustained. All is distorted and the Lord disappears from our sight. That will equally apply to the personality of Godhead and his Purusha incarnation. Incarnations. Karnada Vishai, Garbhoda Vishai, Kshiroda Vishai. One more feature. He is the master of eternal time, space, cause and effects. Mind, the elements, the material ego, the modes of nature, the senses, the universal form of the law. The sum total of all living beings, both moving and non-moving. 7. Why is Lord Brahma going to relate stories of the Lord's Leelavataras to Narada? From here. Yes, it comes here. Hearing of their activities. There should be capital T. Counteracts all foul matters accumulated in the heart. These pastimes are pleasing to hear and are to be relished. Therefore, they are in my heart. Okay. Analogies. 2.6.6. The obedient son of the father never goes against the will of the father and therefore passes life very peacefully in concurrence with the head of the family, the father. Similarly, the Lord being the father, all living beings should fully and satisfactorily discharge the duty and will of the father as faithful sons. The sun illuminates both internally and externally by expanding its radiation. Similarly, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by expanding his universal form, maintains everything in the creation, both internally and externally. The Ekapad Vibhuti manifestation of the material energy of the Lord is just like one of the many mistresses of the Lord, by whom the Lord is not so much attracted. That is 2.6.22. Then in 37 purport, as the mother is the only recognized authority, as the mother is the only authority to identify the father of a child, so the mother Vedas, represented by the recognized authority, such as Brahma, Narada, or Shiva, is the only authority to inform us about the absolute truth. It's a summary of discussion topics. Welcome to this. And more close book questions. Chapter 7. 7 is here. Schedule incarnations with specific functions. 1. How does a devotee become more than the Lord? 4. This must be here. The impersonalist desire to become one with the Supreme, but the devotee becomes more than the Lord, surpassing the desire of the greatest monist. Question 2. What are the special qualities of the planet awarded to Prince Dhruva Maharaj? This is in 8. Okay. A worship by great sages, both upward and downward. Explained. Vasudeva incarnated himself as Krishnigarbha, the personality of Godhead with 4 hands, and awarded the prince a specific planet above the 7 stars. The planet awarded to Prince Dhruva Maharaj is a fixed Vaikuntha planet installed in the material atmosphere by the will of the Supreme Lord Vasudeva. The planet, although within the material world, will not be annihilated at the time of devastation, but will remain fixed in its place. And because it is a Vaikuntha planet never to be annihilated, it is worshipped even by the denizens of the 7 stars situated below the Dhruva planet, as well as by the planets which are even above the Dhruva planet. Shibriko's planet is situated above the Dhruva planet. 3. List the main philosophical points of Gajendra's prayer to the Lord. Include Sanskrit phrases 15 and 16. We really need to make an answer, some kind of answer book. Another thing that needs to be prepared. Maybe 15 and 16. 15 is there. 16. Ten should be enough. I'll just stick to synonyms and translation. Adi Purusha, the original enjoyer. Akhila Lokanatha, the Lord of the universe. Tirtha Shrava.
The sound is not coming from.
Why? Why?
It's coming to us.
Who can hear me?
We can hear probably.
Just raise hands, whoever can hear me, so that I understand who hears me. Only you can hear me. Chittamohan also can hear me. Mohan Radhapati, Somapati Prabhu can hear me or not?
Yes, bro, audible.
Okay. It's your bad day today. Adi Purusha, the original enjoyer. Oh, original enjoyer. Akhila Lokanatha, the Lord of the universe. Oh, Lord of the universe. Tirtha Shrava, oh, deliverer, as famous as a place of pilgrimage. Oh, one who is as famous as a place of pilgrimage. Shravanamangala Namadheya. All are purified simply by hearing your holy name, which is worthy to be. So Gajendra conveyed these to the Supreme Lord when he was praying to him. 4. In what way is the body the symbol of diseases? 21.
You are muted, Prabhu.
Just give me a
And
minute. There is something wild here. Electricity just went off. That created some trouble. Geo is supposed to be recognized. Let's see if it's coming. Okay. Sachidulal Prabhu is not here. Okay, 21. In what way is the body the symbol of diseases? 21. The embodied living entity is diseased by the very construction of his body. The body is a symbol of diseases. The disease may differ from one variety to another, but disease must be there, just as there is birth and death for everyone. This is what is meant by saying it is a symbol of diseases. 5. List a few of the extraordinary feats of the Lord that help to establish him as the Supreme Lord. 26 to 35. Yes, we can take it from here. 6 to 35. Just to expand his transcendental glories, he acts extraordinarily. There's no doubt about Lord Krishna's being the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, how is it possible for him to kill a giant demon like Putana when he was just on the lap of his mother? To overturn a cart. This is going to be too much of an explanation here. A few of the feet, how many feet should we put? 5. Okay. Any 5. Any 5 between 26 and 35. Okay. Udana is 1. These ones are good. To overturn a cart with his leg when he was only 3 months old, or to uproot a pair of Arjuna trees so high that they touched the sky when he was only crawling. All these activities are impossible for anyone other than the Lord himself. So these are extraordinary feats. Also, when the cowherd boys and their animals drank the poisoned water of the river Yamuna, and after the Lord in his childhood revived them by his merciful glance, just to purify the water of the river Yamuna, he jumped into it as if playing and chastised the venomous Thalia snake, which was lurking there, its tongue emitting waves of poison. Who can perform such Herculean tasks but the Supreme Lord? Is it too many? How are we supposed to solve a problem like this? List a few, but there is some 10 or 12 pastimes here, and all of them are extraordinary. Krishna tells everyone to close their eyes and then saves their lives. He cannot be bound by Yashoda. He saves Nanda Maharaj. He awards promotion to the inhabitants of Vrindavan by placing them in the highest planet in the spiritual sky. He subdues Indra by lifting Govardhan hill with one hand only when he was 7 years old. Okay, at least up to 32 are very clearly extraordinary, unimitatable. Okay. Analogy 48. In such a transcendental state, there is no need of artificial control of the mind, mental speculation, or meditation as performed by the Gyanis and Yogis. One gives up such processes as the heavenly king Indra foregoes the trouble to dig a well. Okay, then we have chapter 8. 1. Why is the Lord described as aguna or without any quality? One. It will appear also that the Lord existed prior to the material creation and therefore his transcendental name, qualities, etc. do not represent any material quality. Whenever, therefore, the Lord is described as aguna or without any quality, it does not mean that he has no quality, but that he has no material quality, such as the modes of goodness, passion, or ignorance, as the conditioned souls have. He is transcendental to all material conceptions, and thus he is described as aguna. 2. Summarize Maharaj Parikshit's questions. 7 points. Okay. 7 to 23. This will be too big, no? Okay, I'm going to make a note that this question should not be asked. And number 2. Okay, 3. Give reasons why Maharaj Parikshit wanted to hear about the Yogavataras. Maharaj Parikshit inquired from the great and learned sage Shukadeva Goswami about the different activities of the incarnations of the Supreme Lord, so that the incarnation of the Lord might be confirmed by his activities in the authoritative scriptures. Maharaj Parikshit was not to be carried away by the sentiments of the common man to accept an incarnation of the Lord very cheaply. Instead, he wished to accept the incarnation of the Lord by symptoms mentioned in the Vedic literatures and confirmed by an acharya like Shukadeva Goswami. Okay. 4. List some examples of purta, prescribed pious works. 21. One. Where is purta? Does it come here? Ishtapurta. Okay, purta. Pious acts in terms of religion. To plant trees on the public roads, to construct public temples and places of worship, to establish places of charity where the poor destitutes can be provided with foodstuff and similar activities are called purta. 5. Why can the knowledge of the philosophical speculators never be perfect? 25 and 26. 25 and 26. Knowledge. Their knowledge by mental speculation is not perfect. However perfect an empiric philosopher may be in presenting a philosophical thesis, such knowledge is never perfect because it is produced by an imperfect mind. Such great sages also have their disciplic successions, but they are not authorized because such knowledge does not come directly from the independent Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana. No one can be independent except Narayana. Therefore, no one's knowledge can be perfect, for everyone's knowledge is dependent on the flickering mind. Mind is material, and thus knowledge presented by mental speculators is never transcendental and can never become perfect. Mundane philosophers, being imperfect in themselves, disagree with other philosophers because a mundane philosopher is not a philosopher at all unless he presents his own theory. Analogies. 3. Lord Krishna is like the sun, and material contamination is like darkness. As the presence of the sun dissipates darkness, constant engagement in the association of the Lord Sri Krishna frees one from the contamination of the material qualities. 5. The sound incarnation of Lord Krishna, the Supreme Soul, that is Srimad Bhagavatam, enters into the heart of a self-realized devotee, sits on the lotus flower of his loving relationship, and thus cleanses the dust of material association, such as lust, anger, and hankering. Thus, it acts like autumnal rains upon pools of muddy water. 6. A pure devotee of the Lord, whose heart has once been cleansed by the process of devotion service, never relinquishes the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, for they fully satisfy him, as a traveler is satisfied at home after a troubled journey. 21. Living the conditional life is just like plying a boat in the middle of the ocean. One is completely at the mercy of the ocean. And at every moment, there is every chance of being drowned in the ocean by slight agitation. If the atmosphere is all right, the boat can ply very easily, undoubtedly. But if there is some storm, fog, wind, or cloud, there is every possibility of being drowned in the ocean. Chapter 9. Summarize the Chatushloki of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Oh, we should summarize this. We don't have chapter summaries also. It's only 4 verses. Do we have summary somewhere? Then it'll be simpler to just take it. Otherwise, it's a big issue. Six. Tatashloki appears in Chaitanya Charitamrita also. Where? Window. Adilila. This searching cycle versus. Not displaying. Why it's not displaying? Search dialog box. Let's see. Oh, first chat. To somebody. Then we cannot just put the translation of this. About that. It should also not be asked. This is a good question, actually. It should not come in CBA. I don't know if it comes in OBA. This kind of question would be ideal for OBA type. Where are the OBA questions? What I'm going to do is I'll shift this to discussion topics. I'll add this as one discussion topic. It's a good topic. Oh, it's right here. This is too big. It's again, it comes in. It comes in two places. Then why not do it's quoted once? What is this? Here, 25. This is the Lord speaking to Prakashananda Saraswati. Part 2. Part 1 comes in Adilila. Part 2 comes here. Oh, right here. Look at this. Ami Vasavali, very personality picture. Got another idea. He thinks of Lord Chaitanya. Yes, that has it. It is. Where will I? How will I? Going to post it in our Telegram. So this is it. I, Krishna, am the supreme center for the relationships of all living entities, and knowledge of me is the supreme knowledge. The process by which a living entity can attain me is called Abhideya. By it, one can attain the highest perfection of life, love of Godhead. When one attains love of Godhead, his life becomes perfect. I think that's here. What is this first 6 and then 1? Something's wrong. List Lord Brahma's 4 requests, 26 to 29. I think that came here. Just saw it here. Sources request. What are the forms of the Lord both in matter and in transcendence? How are the different energies of the Lord working? How does the Lord play with his different energies? How may Brahma be instructed to discharge the duty entrusted to him? One, the child cries to have the moon from the mother, and the mother gives the child a mirror to satisfy the crying and disturbing child with the reflection of the moon. Similarly, the crying child of the Lord is given over to the reflection, the material world. Two, the living entity is desiring. It's like dreaming of a golden mountain. A person knows what a mountain is, and he also knows what gold is. Out of his desire only, he dreams of a golden mountain. When the Lord is over, and when the dream is over, he sees something else in his presence. He finds in his awakened state that there is neither gold nor a mountain, and what to speak of a golden mountain. 28. But all such agents and creative energies are emanations from the Lord, and as such, there is nothing except the Lord, or the one supreme source of different diversities. The exact example is the spider and spider's web. The web is created by the spider and it is maintained by the spider. And as soon as the spider likes, the whole thing is wound up within the spider. Ten. One. This the 10 divisions of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. First is get back. It's the 10 divisions of the Srimad Bhagavatam. It means the 10 topics of the Srimad Bhagavatam. 10 divisions of statements. The creation of the universe, subcreation, planetary systems, protection by the Lord, the creative impetus, the change of Manus, the signs of God, returning home back to Godhead. That is one topic. Liberation and the summum bonum. So there are 10. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2. What is the definition given for liberation? Mukti by Shukadeva Goswami 6. Liberation is the permanent situation of the form of the living entity after he gives up the changeable gross and subtle material bodies. 3. What is meant by the terms Mahasamashti, Samashti, and Vyashti? 13. That must be coming in the purport. Mahasamashti, Samashti, and Vyashti. Mahasamashti is the Lord existing as total energy. This must be Mahavishnu, Mahasamashti. Karnodakashayi Vishnu. Yes. Then Samashti must be Karvodakashayi Vishnu. And then Vyashti, Kshirodakashayi Vishnu, who expands as the Paramatma. But this question is not easy to answer in those books. I will request that it should not be. Then 4. Ajagalas Tananyaya. 5. Setting aside the Supreme Lord as the cause of all causes is the logic of Ajagalasthanyaya, or trying to milk the nipples on the neck of a goat. The nipples on the neck of a goat may seem like sources of milk, but to try to get milk from such nipples would be foolish. 5. Briefly describe what is meant by Mahakalpa, Vikalpa, and Kalpa. 46. There are 3 different types of creation. In the Mahakalpa, the Lord assumes the first Purusha incarnation is Karandukshai Vishnu. With all the potencies of the Mahatattva and the 16 principles of creative matter and instruments. The creative instruments are 11, the ingredients are 5, and all of them are products of Mahat or the materialistic ego. These creations by the Lord in this feature of Karandukshai Vishnu are called Mahakalpas. The creation of Brahma and the dispersion of the material ingredients is called a Vikalpa. And the creation by Brahma in each day of his life is called Kalpa. Achyutanam Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, in this question 3 of Mahasamashti, Samashti, this will, is this cancelled or this will be coming?
Wait, 1 minute. The question, I'm cancelling it. Tell me. Yeah.
Okay, I just want to confirm if it is cancelled.
Now I'm cancelling it because the explanation will be too long. You cannot just copy paste from that purport because the question is explain what is meant. So I have requested that it should be cancelled. It should not be there.
Okay.
Okay, this Vikalpa. Is this Vikalpa one life of Brahma? Is it Brahma's full life? Is it Viparartha? Okay, wait. Six. What sometimes I forgot to say anything. Six. No personal explanation. Surface, yeah. So for this thing is also frozen. It's frozen. For each day of Brahma is called a kalpa. Kalpa. The creation of Brahma is called a Vikalpa. The creation during the day of Brahma is called a Kalpa. The creation of Brahma and the creation of Brahma is called a Vikalpa. When Vikalpas are made possible by the breathing of Mahavishnu, this is called Mahakalpa. Mahakalpa is creation of Mahatattva itself. And then when he creates one particular Brahma, that is called Vikalpa. And then when Brahma, one day of Brahma is called a Kalpa. Yes, Prabhu. You had a question?
Yes, Prabhu. Prabhu, I am confused in Mahakalpa and Vikalpa because as soon as Mahavishnu will come, he will breathe, and if he is breathing, Brahmaji will be created.
The entire arrangement of Mahatattva, the creation of Mahatattva appears to come under the heading of Mahakalpa. See, he breathes out, then Brahma is born, and then he breathes in, and by that time Brahma dies. So one lifetime of Brahma is Vikalpa. That much is clear by this calculation. And then what is Mahakalpa?
Hmm.
Then again, there are Vikalpas generated by the breathing of Mahavishnu. Okay, wait. Let's it out. Now we have a chance. Kalpaha Mahakalpa, Vikalpaha Avantarakalpa. Mahakalpa, Avantarakalpa, intermediate kalpa. Stula kalpa, Vikalpa, Vishnu, simple. Within this process. Kalpa means Vividha Srishtayaha, different types of Srishtis. Mahakalpa and Anakalpa. It's another expression that is used. Simply, so many things. Kalpo Brahmadinam. That's Jiva Goswami. Vikalpa Sabhedaha. Okay, I think get some clarity here. Vikalpa refers to the different varieties of Brahma's days. So each day is not exactly the same. At least there are 30 varieties of his days. Each day different events happen. And then after 30 days, when the month goes around, then again what happened in the first day, like that it happens. Brahmana Sambandhi Kalpa Samvatsara Shatatmakaha Brahmana Paramaya Rupa. Vikalpaha Avantara Brahmadina Rupaha. Okay, so overall there are only two types of durations here. One is Brahma's life and one is Brahma's day. But Brahma's days have some distinctions. So those distinctions are referred to as Vikalpa. Vividham. Okay, I'll be back. Briefly describe what is meant by Mahakalpa, Vikalpa, and Kalpa. The answer should be Mahakalpa refers to Brahma's life, Kalpa refers to Brahma's day, and Vikalpa refers to the differences in Brahma's day as we go through 1 month of Lord Brahma.